What's up, guys? Today is a very special day because you're going to be coming with me. So we're going to be talking about what does a day in the life of a Peace Corps volunteer actually look like. Let's get to it. So as you all know, I am a Peace Corps volunteer in Guinea. I'm an education volunteer, so we're going to be doing a couple things. We're going to be going to school and doing some experiments. We got some fun experiments planned for today. Afterwards, we're going to come back and cook. We have market day, we have English club, we got the daily run, and who knows what else. We'll just play it by ear and see what happens. So that's the day. But first, it is cold today. It's really cold today. Look, I've got long sleeves on. I've got socks on. I've got pants on. It's pretty amazing what you get used to. Right now it is 18 degrees 18 degrees Celsius, which is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So not that cold, actually. My brother's in North Dakota right now, and it's like minus 30 or something crazy, so he laughs at me. But, when you're used to 80, 90 degree weather, it's a little chilly when it's 65. So, all right, to school. It's about time. I'm going to be late. Let's go. Okay, so I actually was running late, so that's why there's nothing in between. I'm about to run to class, but first I'm getting some stuff for the experiment. So I got 9th grade chemistry first. So we're going to be doing some electrolysis with some batteries and some copper sulfate. So we're really lucky to have, this is not like a common thing to have like a big laboratory like this. Really lucky to have it. The African Development Bank came and paid for it all. I don't know all the details behind that. I should probably ask. Actually, I have asked, but they don't really know all the details either. But off to class. So we are in 9th grade. Everyone's copying back there. Wrote all this stuff on the board. They copy it down, then I'll explain it because they don't have textbooks, so they kind of use this as their textbook to revise and whatnot. So then we're gonna do the experiment, that's the word. It's electrolysis, so we're gonna talk about electrolysis. We're talking about copper today. Okay, so we are in the 8th grade now. You can see the class is a little bigger than my 9th graders, but it's 8th grade math. We're doing geometry right now, so we're doing figures symmetric about a point. I've written a definition up there. They're copying it. They're probably looking back here. I can kind of see them in the reflection of the lens. That's that. They're chatting in Malinke, which is kind of strange. So I teach them French. They talk in Malinke, which I don't understand. All right, class is done for today. Right now I'm just in the lab, like preparing a experiment for tomorrow. We're gonna do zinc and copper sulfate and do a little redox reaction for the 10th grade. So I teach 8th and 9th grade math and 9th and 10th grade chemistry. 8th and 9th grade math, that's 6 hours a week. 9th and 10th grade chemistry, that's 2 hours each a week. And today actually went pretty well. The students here are they're kind of what you would expect. They're not that different from the students back in the States. So I did teach high school in the States, and student-wise, I think kids are kids. There's not a huge difference there. I think what some of these kids lack is some of the, even if it's a very good Guinean teacher, a lot of times they'll only do theory and not the practice. And so that's what some of us as volunteers are coming in and doing is putting the practice in. So when you have a math problem, do an example and then put up some practice problems and have people come up to the board and do them. Or if you're in chemistry, have people respond to questions. Don't just have them copy down the response, which is what a lot of teachers do. And it's a cultural thing. It's just something that they've been taught. Well, that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. That's our job. So. Let me tell you, teaching wears you out. And it's not really more so than back in the States, because when I taught back there, I would get home and just be exhausted. And it's the same thing here. It's just being on for that long and as you should be as a teacher, walking around and talking to the students and trying to see where everyone is. It just takes a lot of brain power, so you're mentally exhausted, just to keep all that in track. And when you have 50 or 60 kids, it's crazy. But it's good. Like, my kids are pretty good. Some people might think that either the kids are really bad or don't want to learn, or the complete opposite. I've heard the opposite too, where they're like, oh, they're so good, they respect the professors, and really, they're not that much different. they're not different, too much different from teaching in the States. So they can still be super disrespectful sometimes. They still won't shut up while you're talking. But they're good kids, and they do want to learn, and we do have fun most of the time. Now it is time to eat. So I am going to cook. I always cook eggs. Today I have some rice here, and I have some fish. And I'm gonna eat that first because I'm starving. So I got my bowl of rice, and here I've got the Maggi. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top. Wow, this might be a lot. Oh well. Gonna take just a spritz of soy sauce. Just a spritz. Mostly because I'm absolutely obsessed with soy sauce. Okay, so we're like this, and then we got these little sardine dudes with oil and stuff in it, and we're just gonna dump all of them. Ugh. Gonna dump all of that in there. And there we have it. And then I'll just mash all that up together, and that's yum. Very yum, actually. Probably now I'm gonna cook, I guess. I already ate my fish. Probably gonna cook my eggs and eat them. And then, honestly, there's not much going on kind of now. In the middle of the days when the sun's the highest, so everything's kind of hot, and I mean, it's not terrible, but everyone just kind of relaxes a bit, takes naps. That's pretty common. So this is usually the time I, charge my laptop. This is usually the time I do some lesson planning, just kind of relax a bit after school, because school, like I said, school wears you out. Just because it's kind of interesting. I do usually have all my solar panels up here in the morning, because that's where the sunlight comes from, this direction. And then I move them throughout the day. So I'll move them here now. I need to move this one. I'll move them here now, and then later I'll actually put them up on this wall. And that just helps with the efficiency. So, yeah, just thought that might be interesting. So now's the time when I usually go to the market. So if I go right after school, no one's there yet. And if I go around 1:30, people are getting set up, so it's around 1:30 now. I want to go before everyone gets there so they don't buy everything, because they will buy everything. It's not that big of a market. And so I usually spend around 60 to 70,000 Ghanaian franc, which is around $6 or $7, which is pretty cool for a whole week's worth of food. So let's go buy food, because that's what I need to eat lunch. Okay, let's see what we got here from the market. We got these two bags. This is the bread. So we got 3 little loaves of bread there. Oh, this is red beans, which was a good find. I don't usually find that. Here we've got 3 mil of salad, so 3 mil is like 30 cents a salad. It's a ton of salad. This is all salad. And then here we've got tomatoes. Moving on, we've got eggs, of course, 30 eggs. We got some meat, which I'm gonna use to make a sandwich here in a minute for lunch. We've got green onions. Really, there's no way I'm gonna use all of these green onions, but they're sang-sung, which is like the smallest denomination of bills. Yeah, so if you've seen my Instagram takeover on the Peace Corps page, on the Peace Corps Instagram page, you'll see that my market habits haven't really changed too much, but still always end with one of these. They're kind of, I mean, it's just kind of a little bag, and you just bite the corner off and suck out the juice. It's good. Okay, time for me to head off to English Club. It's over at the school, so I'm actually taking 2 bidons to fill up water afterwards, and then because I don't want to have to do it after my run, and I want to be able to bathe. All right, so we just finished up with English Club. We actually, what did we do today? It was kind of a mix of a lot of different things. We did verbs, we talked about regular verbs, and then we've actually got on kind of a song train, so we're looking at chasing cars. I don't know, it's just a song with kind of simple English and short phrases and clear voice. So right now, we've listened to it a couple times. We've kind of talked about some of the words in it. Most of these guys are just kind of starting English, so it's not, we're getting into the more fun things, but right now it's just kind of building a base. But we meet 3 times a week, which is pretty good for an hour, right before my run, so honestly not bad. So as you saw, there are 3 buildings. The first is this one back over here, and that is the direction. That's like the office. So there is the main room, which is where we all, like all the teachers go in. The director institute, like kind of like the assistant principal is there, and he like signs us all in, and we have meetings and whatever. There's the principal's office, and then there's like a couple other rooms that we just don't really use. Then there's this building, which this building is all the lab. So the laboratory down there is where we have all the stuff, and then in here there's another room for like classes and stuff. There's a smaller room in the middle. Really nice. Great for me to do experiments and whatnot. And then over here we have the actual classrooms. So there's 4 classrooms, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade. They're all the same thing. And then bathrooms back over there. So, I mean, that's it. Down here we have the principal's house, which is over there, and like the assistant principal's house, which is over there. And of course, gotta make sure we get water. So that's what this guy is. We also have wells, but stuff can fall in them. The water's a little more dirty, so these pumps are great. One down, one more to go. So I go through less than one of these a day, but it kind of depends on the day. If I wash clothes, a lot more. If I don't cook that much, a lot less. So it really does depend, but I usually leave it a day in between just because they're heavy and they're hard to get back and forth. I don't know, kind of depends. That's that. Ça va? So I'm quickly losing light, so I think it's gonna be a short run, but run it's gonna be, so we'll see. It's a little bit of something. Usually I get out of the English club a bit faster. Usually I don't know what took so long today. Some days it's just like that, so here we go. All right, just got back from the run. Now I gotta take a bucket bath. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You have a bucket of water and you dump it over your head and you wash yourself and you dump water over your head to rinse it back off. So, not that complicated. And then it's dark now. Day's not over, but I'm going to, basically do some work here. I got a plan for my lesson tomorrow. Thursday is my last day. And then my family usually cooks me dinner over there. So I'll go to them. I might try to film, but it's dark. And we usually just eat by like flashlight. So I don't think it'll actually film, to be honest. But yeah, what I normally do with them is go eat and hang out for a bit, and usually we just sit out there without lights and talk a little bit. And when the doctor's there, he's a great guy, and we just get along pretty well. So we chat a little bit, look at the stars. It's usually pretty nice. And then that's that. And then I'll come back and go to bed. So it ended up being too dark to kind of show you guys what was going on at dinner, and it wasn't that interesting anyway. The doctor, actually, he went to bed early, and everyone left because there's a Real Madrid game going on or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that look into what my life looks like, what kind of a day in the life is here in Guinea. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you thought was interesting, what you thought was weird, all of that. I'm curious to know, because I've lived here a while and it's now just kind of my day. So I want to know what you thought about it and what struck you as interesting. So definitely, like, subscribe, share with some friends. Yeah. Thanks. See you next time.